You gotta meet the author. Meet the author. You gotta meet the author. Now you can be an author.
Good morning. I am so excited this morning. I have one of my favorite authors that I'm going to be interviewing today. She's been writing books for quite a while. She has taught classes on how to write your memoirs. And she has a book that I'm going to tell you she has been working on actually getting this to the set. And now it actually is going to be on the set. But I'm going to let her tell you more about it. I'm going to bring her forth. Her name is Alice Parker, and we go way back. I am really excited to have her on the show today. Good morning, Alice. How are you?
Good morning, Adele. So good to see you again. I am doing great.
It is great to see you. I know that you have been working on your book for quite a while, and you and was it three other women or two other women? I don't
Three other
remember.
women. There were four
Three
of us.
other women. It
Yeah.
was four of you guys. And I'm going to have you first and foremost, before we jump into talking about the book, I'm going to have you tell our listening audience about Alice and who she is.
Okay. I'm originally from the Chicago suburbs, and I traveled quite a bit. I've lived in 6 states and overseas in Japan for 7 years. I was a corporate trainer there. Before I went there, I had worked for Dale Carnegie Training. Those of you old enough to remember, he was the original of the whole public speaking trainers. And so 7 years in Japan, I taught mid-level managers who were being sent overseas. So it was preparing them to be able to handle everything on their own. Quite a challenge, of course. And Japan was a very pivotal time in my life. Of course, 7 years is a long time to live in a foreign country. It also gave me access with the time off, 3 to 6 weeks, to travel around the world. I've been to 36 countries and 40 states. So I'm very, very grateful for that time. Came back and I was living in San Francisco for 12 years. I went ahead and got my certification in human resources. And with my background, I was working for a very large international company. I was a regional HR manager covering from San Jose to Sacramento, based in San Francisco. And then I also was getting into doing more of my writing. I had started doing the writing on this book way back when we were involved, and but I was also getting into kind of discovering myself and learning more about myself. I had lived in Hawaii for 3.5 years and had set up kind of a training program there because the Japanese are huge attendees to Hawaii. So with that, and then eventually with the recession in 2010, I left San Francisco and I moved to Upper Peninsula in Michigan. Couldn't have been more of a change, but I was familiar with it as we used to go up there when I was living in Chicago. Beautiful, beautiful country, very few people. So, and there I was able to write another book, and something that made me very excited about. Then my son said the magic word, grandchildren, and I moved to Dallas. So, and I have been blessed. I'm very excited. He did follow through. And one of the joys of my life is my grandson, Magnus. And that's kind of where I am now. enjoying Dallas and being involved. I taught at Brookhaven College for over 4 years. And I do private individual tutoring on memoir writing.
Alice, you have quite a resume. And I'm going to say that with, I've known you for quite a while. And I know when I met you, your goal was to get this book
Yes.
on film. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But I want to just bring forth some breaking news because that's what that is all about. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Okay, Alice, that is breaking news about you finally did it. You're getting your book on film. So I want you to tell us not all of the book, but a synopsis of the story and what they could expect to see on film.
Okay. Take you back to the early 70s. And that was when the four of us, we got our divorces together, basically. The first one was in September of 1971, and the last one was in April of 1973. So a year and a half between the first and the last. But the first three of us were kind of bing, bing, bing. And what this was, friends, one was a childhood friend, one was a woman I met in high school, and then we later reconnected in working. And then the fourth one was best friend to the one who was a childhood friend of mine. She had left the neighborhood and moved further west in the what we called super boonies. Anyway, we were with the wildness of the 70s, which everyone, if you don't know of it, you certainly read of it, considering the Chicago 7 had just went on, and that was a nominated movie too. So the alcohol, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and bored housewives, very much so. Our big excitement was a visit from the Avon lady or being invited to a Tupperware party where they served wine. How exciting was that? So it's not that we were involved in any of the marches or anything like that, even though Vietnam was going on and the women's movement and everything else. But it was kind of, we just wanted to have some excitement in our lives and some change. And we were all married to men who were not paying any attention to us, either kind of ignoring or even emotionally or physically abusive. And we had all been raised very kind of controlled. I was the oldest when I got married, a whopping 20. The others were 16, 17, and 18. So obviously, we really had missed out on a lot of that time for us to express ourselves. And that was one of the things that we felt we really needed to be on our own. Biggest thing was to make our own choices for our lives. That was one of the things we wanted, was freedom and everything. And yes, children were involved and everything. And it was something that we did take into consideration, but did feel it would be better with us that way. The main thing here is the camaraderie. It was totally unacceptable at that time for an ordinary, especially housewife, to get a divorce. You just didn't do that. And we had absolutely no support from anyone except each other. And that was one of the things. And I know I was told by several women when I was doing some readings for the book, they said if I would have had just one other person who supported me in what I was doing. We didn't know we were really pioneers until there was women who started approaching us and almost whispering, I heard you're divorced. How do I do that? And this whole kind of thing of being so held down by society, as well as those husbands and parents and everything else. And that was where, naive as we went out there. And of course, the with alcohol involved, there were a lot of stupid things we did, but we tried to learn from our mistakes and share it with each other so we could grow and change. I mean, that was part of the whole thing. We really wanted to have better lives and kind of more about us learning who we were.
I'm listening to you, and I've read the book. It's been a while, but I did read the book, and I'm thinking, wow, what a time. What a great time to bring it out because of everything that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I thought back, and we're both old enough to remember the women's movement.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the women's movement and the movement that we have now for women.
Yes.
So your
Yes.
book is perfect, perfect timing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show our listening audience a copy of your book, and I'm going to have you tell them where they can get the book.
Okay. Or under my name, Alice Parker, and it should come up for you. And, just kind of go directly from there. That's one of the great things about Amazon. You will notice across the cover of the book, it says now being made into a streaming TV series. And that's the very, very exciting part about it. It does cover 40 years of us. So it's kind of more extensive than a movie would cover.
And movies don't cover everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you if you're listening right now to this stream, I'm going to tell you to not walk, but run and get a copy of her book. It's on Amazon. And this Alice is a wonderful lady. You have to meet her. And if you haven't met her, you're going to be glad that you did meet her because you're going to fall in love with her like I did. She's a wonderful person to know. So, Alice, what is your next project now? I know you have another book out. Can you tell our listening audience about that book?
Yes, I have actually the publishing company that I am with, which they came to me. I was referred to them. They prefer to work with authors whose books have potential for film because that's their main goal is getting the books into film. Uh, and the next one, I've actually got another book out that's called A Trip to Oz, and it actually has to do with when I got my second divorce. And this is also related to when I was working in Japan. Australia was the closest English-speaking country, and I ended up going there 5 different times. I had a couple of teachers who worked for me who lived there, and I made other friends there also. And I just loved the country and exploring that. So this one, again, it's kind of, I decided that I wanted to, again, kind of trying to find myself. It was a bit, I don't want to say harrowing, but you have to take a step back. because I really felt the second divorce was something that, we know we contribute to these things. So it's getting to really understand yourself and everything with it. And I decided to go to what's called the Red Center, where Ayers Rock, Uluru, is located, and other very interesting, as well as a large Aboriginal community, which I was very interested in. And the whole thing turned out to be kind of a physical testing of oneself, sometimes the best way to get to know yourself. And I met 3 other women. No, actually, this time it was 4 other women that I met, and from around the country. One of them was from Australia. And we kind of palled up together for this 3-day tour into the Red Center and doing all of this, climbing Ayers Rock and Kings Canyon and other type of things in there. So that is on my list, but I'm actually leaning toward another book I have not. I'm in the process of, I think I'd like to have it next, because it's another romantic love story, but a mystery also. And that's a book about Croatia. Interesting. So the 4 books that I've got lined up for the publisher is all international books, the Australian book, the Croatian book, and then 2 books that I did on Japan, because I was very, very interested when I was living there in the American occupation of Japan. And at that time, I was there from 88 to 95. There were still quite a few people alive who had lived through that really harrowing period of time. So that's also on my list. They're all finished and ready to be published. And as I said, the publishing company is not only interested in publishing them, but also having them made into streaming TV series. So
awesome.
Yeah, exciting.
So it's just like your first book. So your stories will never end because you've got other stories following them. So I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It is so great to have you on the show, Alice. I'm going to take a few seconds and show some commercials, and then we'll get right back to you. So
Okay.
Hold tight. We're going to be there.
Thank you.
You gotta meet the author. Meet the author. You gotta meet the author. Now you can be an author.
Hi, my name is Kijano Owens. I am co-founder of Success Express Marketing Solutions. Our business is cultivating more business for your business. I want to tell you real quick about our program that is one of the most comprehensive business development online marketing support programs out there, which is the VASP, VASP, Virtual Assistant Support Program. This system allows you to operate and run your business while we help monitor and help you cultivate more business for your business online. Contact us at 909-686-1698 and visit us online at successexpressmarketing.com. Look forward to helping you take your business to the next level.
I'm the Hope Coach, Tawana Williams, your messenger of hope and inspiration. And I was blessed to be born without arms and impaired use of my legs.
1 in 5 Americans has some kind of disability.
The notion that hiring someone with a disability is more of a burden than an opportunity.
Donald Trump provoking fresh outrage. This time, the Republican frontrunner is accused of mocking a reporter who has a physical disability.
I'm the Hope Coach.
The Hope Coach.
The Hope Coach. You want some hope? I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Today I am an internationally known Les Brown Platinum speaker. author, mentor, businesswoman, humanitarian, and CEO of Tawana Williams Outreach.
Lord have mercy.
God Almighty. You know, most people would have given up after going through what I've gone through, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. Why? Because I was born to win. I've experienced abortion, motherhood, and as I said, a stroke. But guess what? I'm still here. So I'm telling you today, whatever it is you want to do in your life, I challenge you today to do it.
But when God came in your life, did he take care of that which psychologists couldn't take care of?
Lord have mercy. My mother told me there was nothing that I could not do. And I am so grateful to God that he allowed me to be born this way for such a time as this, to help people all over the world.
You were actually taught how to use other parts of your body to compensate for the fact that you did not have your arms. Can you share that?
Yes, actually I was trained as a baby to use my feet as if they were my hands.
You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a fabulous friend, but you also draw. I'm amazed by this. These are your sketches. Tell me about them.
She actually draws portraits with her toes.
The world said, Tawana, you can't, you won't. But I said, oh yes, I can. I can believe it, I can achieve it, and I'm going to do it. And I did it. The producers from the Judge Hatcher show, they contacted me and said, we heard about you. We have a troubled team that needs some help, and we need you. And I said, yes.
Somebody ain't been fighting enough.
Come on, guys.
Ain't somebody not been swinging enough.
Come on.
You better fight for what you want.
Come on.
I decree and declare right now in the name of Jesus that you shall live and not die.
You are the example in my book of a world changer.
Hallelujah. Thank you, God. Yes, I am.
You're a world changer.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Alice. You know, sorry, we got to pay those commercials. I mean, we got to pay the bills.
No, that was very interesting. I've actually heard of Tawana and seen her on TV. She is amazing, and I think that's something I preach myself: is no excuses.
No excuses. That's right.
Yeah.
And we can't have no excuses. We just have to keep moving forward and just know that God has us. So, Alice, I'm going to ask you, what are some parting words that you can leave with our audience?
I want everyone to know all of my books. I do it for 3 reasons. And number 1, of course, is entertainment. If I can't entertain you, I'm not going to be able to keep you, reading. Second one is to bring awareness. And whether that's awareness about your own life or what's around you, but awareness. And the third thing is the result of that, and that's having your life changed for the better. And this is something I think, having learned it by supporting each other and knowing what it is to be involved in other people's lives. And as I tell my memoir writing students, you never underestimate your story and whose life you may change by reading it. And I think that's the whole thing. And one reason why I still do private students and helping them with their stories. And I think that that's what we're all about. We're here to help each other, to stay positive, to know that there are no excuses, and to overcome those challenges. You can always do so much more than you think you can do. And of course, I learned that in writing my own scripts for the streaming TV series that never done before, but I did it.
Yeah, you did it. And it's awesome to know that you are moving forward and that you keep moving forward. You never stop. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Alice Parker. I'm just excited to have her on the show. And Alice, I'm going to talk to you on the other side.
Okay.
I'm glad that you joined me this morning on Meet the Author. I'm excited. Meet the Author show. You can see it on the Roku channel. We have many other authors as well on Roku. And our Roku channel is Success in Business. And our show right now is Meet the Author. So we do have on our Roku channel Success in Business, Meet the Author, as well as The Morning Grind with Kijana Owens. So I'm excited to have Alice on today. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again on Meet the Author when we have our next author. I am so excited today. Go and make it a great day.